Hey, how's it going everyone? Atlantis here, and we have our two-handed executioner guide, which is part of the weapon series for beginners. Hopefully this is a refresher for veterans of the game, and it's helpful for new players in the future. We are taking a look at each available weapon and their weapon abilities. Make sure to subscribe for more Wayfinder guides and videos. Let's get started. Two-handed weapons are listed as executioner weapons and include types such as the scythe, greatsword, and axe. All of the two-handed weapons operate under the momentum mechanic, in which you fill up the momentum bar as you attack enemies. The momentum bar decays fairly quickly once you have stopped attacking enemies. As momentum builds, incoming resilience damage is reduced, which allows you to keep attacking longer without being guard broken. You will be able to use your weapon abilities as long as you have enough momentum, and your weapon abilities will gain more power based off how much momentum you have when used. In general, two-handed weapons are slower attacks when compared to their dagger counterparts, but do increase damage not only to enemy health, but also to the enemy's break bar. You'll want to make sure not to spam melee attacks too much, as two-handed animations can be quite long, putting you in danger if you aren't careful. You are able to utilize light attacks and heavy attacks. Heavy attacks are slower with more damage output. You can utilize animation canceling by either dashing or blocking during an attack to stop an animation quickly. Animation canceling is useful for preventing your character from performing an attack into an enemy telegraph. A very important mechanic of two-handed weapons is the ability to block. Timing blocks will keep you alive much longer and will convert all incoming damage to the stamina meter at the bottom. If your character gets stuck in a block state, as in you are stuck blocking without pressing the key, you can get out of this by pressing and holding your block button while also using your dash. You are able to perform a shoulder tackle by holding block and using a heavy attack. This can interrupt enemy attacks. You can also do heavy smash attacks by jumping in the air and then using your heavy attack, which causes area effect damage. Let's take a look at the available two-handed weapons at this time. Epitaph was crafted by the infamous Mother of Shadows and feeds on the essence of its enemies. Scythe attacks are slow but heavy hitting, and Epitaph has a fairly large hitbox radius. Weapon ability Arcane Harvest does a spinning slash that deals damage in a 360-degree arc and steals ability power from enemies. This is often used as a buff for ability power builds and should be used before using abilities when possible. Important bosses to farm include the Beastmaster and Dread Legion. Next, we have Colossus, the ceremonial weapon of the champion of the Imperial Arena. Great swords such as the Colossus attack slightly faster than the scythes, but are still fairly slow and cause powerful attacks. Gladiator Slice is the weapon ability in which you perform a quick melee attack that buffs ability power by 20% for the next Wayfinder ability used within 3 seconds. This consumes 1 level of momentum per use. Using Gladiator Slice again within 6 seconds will deal 20% more damage, stacking up to 2 times. Important bosses include the Beastmaster and Grand Deceiver Maris. Titan's Bane was forged by the Infinite Warmaster to battle the Titans of Stone in the first stage. This greatsword has a really cool design with a unique ability visual effect. MOLTEN Cleave is the weapon ability in which you consume all momentum to cleave the ground and damage enemies in a line. The lava pools on the ground will pulse damage over a short period of time after the initial strike. You'll need to aim and time this ability more than others, but this can result in some great combos and massive damage output. Important bosses include the world boss Talon of PYRE and the Dread Legion. Typhoon was first wielded by a Sky Cleaver and is blessed by the spirits of sky and stone and strikes with the fury of the storm. Shatter is the weapon ability and consumes all momentum to perform a strong overhead slam. A direct hit causes the target to take 10% increased damage per momentum level consumed for 10 seconds. Similar to Epitaph, this is great to use before a burst sequence. Typhoon can also be purchased for gold at the vendor. This concludes our beginner's guide for two-handed weapons available so far and their abilities. As always, thank you so much for watching. Wish you all the best in your adventures and see you in the next one.